Commander James Walker stood at his usual spot on the observation deck of Earth's Orbital Defense Station Alpha, his weathered hands clasped behind his back. Through the reinforced viewport, he watched the gleaming white structures of the lunar colony sparkle under the harsh sunlight. 10 years of human achievement stretched across the moon's surface. Research facilities, mining operations, and residential domes housing over 50,000 colonists. The calm of his morning routine shattered as emergency alerts blazed across every screen in the command center. Red warning lights bathed the station's interior in an ominous glow. "Sir, multiple unidentified vessels just dropped out of faster-than-light travel." Lieutenant Andy Jones's voice cracked with urgency. They're massive, sir. Nothing like we've ever seen before." Walker rushed to the main display. The radar showed 15 ships, each larger than anything humanity had ever built, emerging from bright flashes of light on the far side of the moon. Their sleek, crystalline designs marked them clearly as alien vessels. "Get me a direct line to Earth Command," Walker ordered, his throat tight. "And someone tell me why our early warning systems didn't detect them sooner." Before anyone could respond, a message boomed through every speaker on the station. The translation software struggled to keep up with the alien language, but the meaning came through clear enough. "Attention primitive species of Sol 3, a cold, mechanical voice announced. "This is High Commander Tor of the Galactic Council Enforcement Fleet. Your rapid expansion and technological development have been deemed a threat to galactic stability. As per Council Resolution 7249, your species will be contained to prevent further destabilization of the sector." Walker's blood ran cold. The Galactic Council, humanity's first contact with alien life just 3 years ago, had seemed dismissive of Earth during diplomatic meetings, but this was madness. "Sir," Jones called out, his face pale, "they're charging weapons. Get me those defense shields up now," Walker commanded. "And someone get me Earth Command." But it was too late. Brilliant beams of energy lanced out from the alien vessels, striking the lunar colonies with surgical precision. The protective domes shattered like glass. Research facilities crumbled. Mining operations exploded as their reactor cores were breached. Walker watched in horror as thousands of lives were snuffed out in mere minutes. The emergency channels, filled with desperate calls for help, cut short one by one. He had trained for war, for attacks, for emergencies of all kinds, but nothing had prepared him for this level of casual destruction. "My God," someone whispered behind him. "They're killing everyone." The alien voice spoke again. "The containment action has begun. Any attempt to resist will result in similar consequences for your planetary settlements. The Council has spoken." Through the viewport, Walker could see escape pods launching from the dying lunar colonies. Most were shot down immediately by smaller alien craft that darted through the debris field like hungry predators. A few, precious few, managed to slip past, racing desperately toward Earth. Finally, Earth Command responded. General Martha Rivers' face appeared on the main screen, her expression grim. "Commander Walker, you are ordered to stand down. Do not engage. I repeat, do not engage." "But sir, the colonies are lost." The general's voice was heavy with restrained fury. "We can't fight them. Not yet. Implement Protocol Zero immediately." Walker's eyes widened. Protocol Zero, the complete shutdown and disguise of all military installations as civilian structures. The last resort protocol designed to make Earth appear more vulnerable than it actually was. "Yes, sir," Walker responded, his fists clenched at his sides. He turned to his crew, all of whom looked shell-shocked. "You heard the general. Initiate Protocol Zero. Make this station look like a civilian research post." As his crew rushed to comply, Walker took one last look at the lunar surface. Where proud colonies had stood minutes before, only smoking craters remained. The alien ships hung in space like enormous daggers pointed at Earth's heart, their message clear: submit or die. But they had made a terrible mistake. They had revealed their true nature and given humanity all the motivation it needed to unveil its own hidden strengths. "You want to contain us," Walker muttered, watching the alien ships begin their orbital patrol patterns. "You have no idea what you've just started." Deep beneath the ice sheets of Antarctica, Admiral Helen Stone watched multiple screens showing the aftermath of the lunar attack. The underground command center hummed with quiet activity as military personnel worked at their stations, their faces lit by the blue glow of monitors. "Those fools think they've won," she said, her gray eyes fixed on the footage of the Galactic Council ships now orbiting Earth. "They have no idea what's coming." The hidden base, known as Deep Point Alpha, was one of Earth's best-kept secrets. After first contact 3 years ago, humanity had quietly prepared for this exact scenario. While showing the Council only outdated technology and seemingly primitive space stations, Earth's best minds had been working underground, reverse engineering every piece of alien tech they could find. "Admiral," called out Captain Robert Mills from his station, "all hidden bases report ready. The Jupiter shipyards are awaiting your command." Stone nodded, allowing herself a small smile. Behind Jupiter's largest moons, hidden by advanced cloaking technology, Earth had built its real fleet. Not the small primitive ships the Council had seen, but vessels incorporating both human innovation and reversed engineered alien tech. "Begin Protocol Prometheus," she ordered. "Wake up all ships. But remember, stealth is key. We show them nothing until the exact right moment." Throughout the solar system, hidden installations began powering up. In the asteroid belt, massive rail guns emerged from hollow rocks. Around Neptune, automated drone factories activated their production lines. And behind Jupiter's moons, 50 sleek warships powered up their engines. "Message from General Rivers, Admiral," reported Lieutenant Mary Wilson. "Earth Command confirms the Council ships are celebrating their victory. Their shields are at minimum power, and they're sending victory messages back to their homeworlds." "Typical," Stone muttered. "They think we're just primitive apes with basic rockets. Time to show them how wrong they are." She pressed a button on her command console, opening a channel to all hidden bases. "This is Admiral Stone. For 3 years, we've hidden our true strength. We've let them think we're weak while we study their every weakness. They attacked without warning, killed our people, and expect us to just accept it." She paused, her voice growing harder. "Not today." The first phase of Protocol Prometheus began. Tiny stealth probes, smaller than most space debris, moved into position around the Council ships. These probes, built with technology the aliens thought impossible for humans to develop, began mapping every detail of the enemy vessels. "Probes in position," Captain Mills reported. "Beginning detailed scans." "Admiral, you need to see this." The scans revealed something surprising. The Council ships, despite their impressive size, were old. Very old. Their technology had barely improved in centuries. They relied on brute force rather than innovation, showing the stagnation of a civilization that hadn't faced real challenges in millennia. "They're not just overconfident," Stone said, studying the data. "They're outdated. Computer analyzed their shield frequencies." The advanced AI system, another secret kept from the Council, processed the data in seconds. Analysis complete. Council shield technology operates on predictable patterns, vulnerability detected in their cyclic rhythm. Stone's smile grew wider. "Send the data to all ships. Prepare Phase 2 of Protocol Prometheus." Behind Jupiter, Earth's hidden fleet began to move. Unlike the blocky, obvious designs of regular human ships, these vessels were sleek and dark, incorporating both human creativity and alien technology. But they had something the Council ships lacked: innovation born of necessity and the human drive to survive. "All ships report ready, Admiral," Captain Mills announced. "The Council fleet still hasn't detected any unusual activity." Stone stood up, her uniform crisp despite the long hours. On the main screen, She could see the Council ships still in their victory formation around Earth's moon, their crews probably still congratulating themselves on an easy victory. "Send this message to all Earth forces," she commanded. "The time for hiding is over. The Council thought they could judge us, contain us, kill us without consequence. They forgot one important thing. Humans don't take kindly to bullies." She paused, watching as the first stealth ships moved into position, still completely undetected by the Council's outdated sensors. "Let's remind them why you should never corner a species that turned itself from cave dwellers to space travelers in the blink of a cosmic eye." Her voice was cold steel. "Begin Operation Payback." The Council ships never saw the first attack coming. One moment, their sensors showed empty space around them. The next, 5 Earth vessels appeared out of nowhere, their stealth systems dropping just as they fired their weapons. "Direct hits on all targets," Captain Mills reported from Deep Point Alpha. "Their shields didn't even flicker. They'd went straight down." Admiral Stone watched the battle screens with intense focus. The Council ships, caught completely by surprise, scrambled to respond. But their reaction time was painfully slow, their crews too used to being the strongest force in space. "Status of their communications?" she asked. "Jammed completely," Lieutenant Wilson answered. "They can't call for help. The phase shift technology is working perfectly. Their signals are bouncing right through empty space." The human ships moved with deadly grace, their dark hulls absorbing both light and sensor signals. Unlike the rigid, predictable patterns of Council ships, Earth vessels danced through space in random patterns that made them almost impossible to target. On the main Council ship, High Commander Tor was learning a harsh lesson about underestimating primitive species. His crew frantically reported one system failure after another as human weapons, designed specifically to exploit Council technology, tore through their defenses. "Multiple enemy ships disabled," Mills announced. "No casualties on our side. The shield frequency data was perfect. They can't touch us." Stone nodded. "Begin Phase 2. Take that command ship intact. We need their database." 3 more Earth ships dropped their stealth fields, appearing right next to the Council command vessel. But instead of firing weapons, they launched swarms of tiny robots, another human innovation the Council had never seen before. The robots, each smaller than a human hand, cut through the Council ship's hull like hot knives through butter. Inside, they quickly took control of key systems, locking doors and shutting down weapons before the alien crew could react. "Boarding teams ready," Wilson reported. "The robots have secured the main paths to the bridge and engineering." Stone opened a channel to the assault team. "Remember, we want prisoners and data. Show them what human mercy looks like, even if they showed us none." The boarding went faster than anyone expected. The Council crew, faced with weapons and tactics they'd never seen before, surrendered quickly. Many seemed shocked that the primitives they'd attacked hours ago were now in control of their ship. High Commander Tor stood in his own bridge, surrounded by human soldiers in advanced combat suits. His mandibles clicked in what might have been disbelief or fear. "Impossible," he muttered in his own language, the translation coming through the human soldiers' systems. "You were contained. We saw your primitive technology. This cannot be." "Funny thing about humans," the assault team leader said. "We learn fast, and we don't like bullies." Speaking of learning, he nodded to a tech specialist who was already downloading the ship's database. Back in Deep Point Alpha, Admiral Stone received the first reports from the captured ship. "Database secured, Admiral. We have their communication codes, defense plans, everything. The other Council ships are completely disabled. No critical casualties on either side." Stone allowed herself a moment of satisfaction. In less than an hour, Earth's hidden fleet had completely defeated the Council's containment force. But this was just the beginning. "Send word to the Jupiter yards," she ordered. "Launch the rest of the fleet, and prepare a message for broadcast on all Council frequencies." The message was simple but clear to the Galactic Council. You attacked us without provocation. You killed our people. You thought we would be easy to contain. That was your mistake. We are coming. We are not seeking revenge. We are seeking justice. Your fleet is defeated. Your ships are captured. Your choice is simple. Face humanity's full response, or meet us at the negotiating table. You have 6 hours to decide. As the message went out, Stone looked at the battle screens one last time. The once proud Council ships now floated powerless in space, surrounded by Earth's advanced vessels. Send medical teams to help their wounded, she ordered. Let's show them the difference between their version of civilization and ours. Dr. Thomas Reed's fingers flew across his keyboard as streams of alien data filled the screens around him. The captured Council ship's database was a goldmine of information, but time was running out. The 6-hour deadline Admiral Stone had given the Council was halfway done. Look at this, he called to his team in the underground cyber warfare center. Their entire network runs on the same basic code they've used for thousands of years. They never expected anyone to break it. The room hummed with the sound of quantum computers processing data. Unlike the public computers Earth had shown the Council, these machines were far more advanced, combining human innovation with reversed engineered alien tech. Got something big, Doc, called out Jack Wright, his best code breaker. Looks like private messages between Council members. They've been watching us since before first contact. Reed moved to Jack's station, his eyes widening as he read the translated messages. They weren't just watching us. They were afraid of us. The messages revealed the truth. The Council had been monitoring Earth for decades, watching in growing alarm as humans progressed from basic rockets to space stations in less than a century. What had taken other species thousands of years, humanity had done in decades. Send this to Admiral Stone, Reed ordered. She needs to see the real reasons for the attack. But there was more. As they dug deeper into the Council's networks, they found something unexpected. The Council's entire defense grid was connected to a single control system, a system they'd never bothered to upgrade or protect properly. They really thought no one could touch their technology, Reed said, shaking his head. Military AI. Bring up the Council's defense network structure. The advanced AI that Earth had kept hidden from the Council appeared on the main screen. Analysis complete, it reported. Council Defense Network shows multiple vulnerabilities. Cyber invasion possible at 37 key points. Reed smiled. This was why humanity had survived and thrived. They never stopped looking for new ways to solve problems. While the Council relied on brute force and size, humans had developed sophisticated cyber warfare tools. Begin Operation Ghost, he commanded. Infiltrate their network, but don't let them detect us. Just watch and gather data for now. The AI launched its attack, slipping through the Council's outdated defenses like smoke through a fence. Within minutes, they had access to military bases across Council space, defense platforms, and communication networks. Sir, called out Lisa Chen, another analyst. We've found their emergency protocols. In case of a major attack, they're supposed to gather their entire fleet at these coordinates. Reed studied the data. Perfect. Now we know exactly where they'll go when they decide to retaliate. Send this to Admiral Stone too. A message flashed on his screen, a priority alert from the Council's internal networks. Reed read it and laughed out loud. They're having an emergency meeting, he told his team. Seems the primitive humans hacking their supposedly unhackable systems has caused quite a panic. Several Council members are calling for immediate peace talks. The next hour was a blur of activity as Reed's team downloaded everything they could from the Council's networks. They found defense plans, weapon designs, and most importantly, evidence that several younger Council species disagreed with the attack on Earth. Dr. Reed, the AI announced, I've detected a Council probe attempting to scan Earth's defenses. Shall I allow it? Reed thought for a moment. Let it see what we want it to see. Show them some of our new ships, but not all. Let them know we're strong enough to fight, but don't show our full hand. He turned to his team, pride showing on his tired face. The Council thought technology was about having the biggest ships and the strongest weapons. They forgot that true power comes from innovation and adaptation. A new message appeared on his screen. The Council was asking for an emergency communication channel with Earth's leaders. Their 6-hour deadline wasn't even up yet. "Send word to Admiral Stone," Reed said. "Tell her Phase 4 is complete. We've won the intelligence war without firing a single shot." Ambassador Michael Roberts stood before the emergency session of the Galactic Council, his plain black suit a stark contrast to the elaborate robes of the alien representatives. The great chamber, designed to impress with its towering crystal walls and floating platforms, now felt tense and uncertain. "Members of the Council," he began, his voice clear and strong. "You attacked us without warning. You killed our people. You thought we would bow down." He paused, looking at each council member. "You were wrong." The chamber's displays showed real-time footage of Earth's advanced ships, now surrounding the disabled Council fleet. More screens displayed the data Dr. Reed's team had uncovered, proof of the Council's long-term plans to contain Earth. "The young one speaks with unusual boldness," rumbled First Speaker Dax, his ancient form towering over the other council members. "Perhaps another demonstration of force." "No." The word came from an unexpected source. Representative Tal of the Orcs, one of the younger council races, stood up. "We have seen their strength. More importantly, we have seen their mercy. They could have destroyed our ships, killed our people. Instead, they chose to capture and protect them." Murmurs spread through the chamber. On the diplomatic level above, observers from 100 worlds watched with growing interest. The news of Earth's victory was spreading fast across the galaxy. "This is outrageous," Second Speaker Mira hissed. "They are barely out of their gravity well. They cannot be allowed." "Cannot be allowed." Roberts interrupted, his voice sharp. "Let me show you what Earth cannot be allowed to do." He activated a small device. Instantly, the chamber's lights flickered. Every screen changed, showing different images. Earth's hidden shipyards, advanced technology, and most importantly, footage of human medical teams treating wounded Council soldiers from the captured ships. "While you watched our public face, we prepared," Roberts continued. "While you plotted to contain us, we advanced. But unlike you, we didn't let power make us cruel. When we won, we chose mercy over revenge." More council members began to stand. Representative Cole of the Meridian Systems spoke next. "The first speakers kept this information from us. They told us Earth was a threat to stability. Instead, they are a threat to stagnation." The chamber erupted in debate. Younger species, long tired of the ancient race's control, saw an opportunity for change. Older races, set in their ways, fought to maintain their power. Roberts watched it all, sending regular updates to Admiral Stone and Earth Command. The political earthquake they'd hoped for was happening. "I call for an immediate vote," Representative Tal announced. "The first speakers must step down. Their attack on Earth proves they no longer serve the Council's true purpose." First Speaker Dax rose to his full height, his voice booming. "You dare. We have led the Council for 10,000 years. And that," Roberts said quietly, "is exactly the problem." The vote, when it came, was decisive. Centuries of resentment among the younger species boiled over. The first speakers, for the first time in Council history, lost their positions. Representative Tal turned to Roberts. "Earth has shown us a new way. Not just technological advancement, but moral advancement. We would learn from you." Roberts nodded, then activated his communication link to Earth. "Admiral Stone, the Council is ready for real negotiations, and they have a lot of questions about how we advanced so quickly." The Admiral's voice came through clearly. "Tell them we'll be happy to share our knowledge, once they agree to our terms for peaceful cooperation." As Roberts prepared to present Earth's conditions for peace, he looked around the chamber. The old order was crumbling, and a new one was taking shape. Earth, The planet the Council had tried to contain was now at the center of a galactic revolution. "Let's begin again," he said to the reformed Council. "This time as equals, working together for a better galaxy." The chamber, so recently filled with anger and fear, now buzzed with something new: hope. Not everyone in the Council accepted defeat gracefully. Even as the political landscape shifted, Grand Admiral Vex of the Old Guard gathered his personal fleet, 500 ships strong, for one final attempt to put the humans in their place. Admiral Stone stood on the bridge of Earth's new flagship, the EDS Defiant, watching the tactical display as the enemy fleet approached through faster-than-light travel. "They're using the exact attack pattern from their military database," Captain Mills noted, now serving as her second in command aboard the Defiant. "They haven't learned anything." Stone nodded. "Old dogs, old tricks. Deploy the Nova Squadron." A group of 30 small, fast ships launched from the Defiant's bays. These vessels, smaller than anything the Council usually fielded, were Earth's latest innovation. Each carried a crew of just 3 and enough automated systems to match a Council ship 10 times its size. "Grand Admiral Vex is broadcasting, Admiral," Lieutenant Wilson reported from her communications station. "He's demanding our immediate surrender." "Put him on screen," Stone ordered. "Let's see what the Old Guard has to say." The alien admiral appeared, his ceremonial armor glinting. "This is your final warning, humans. Surrender now, or we will show you the true might of the Council's finest fleet." Stone's reply was calm. "Look around you, Admiral. Really look. Count my ships. Notice anything strange." On the tactical display, Earth's fleet seemed to number barely 100 vessels, far fewer than Vex's fleet, but Stone was smiling. "Your primitive counting won't save you," Vex snarled. "All ships, open fire." The space between the fleets lit up with energy weapons and projectiles. But something impossible happened. Most of the shots passed right through Earth's ships as if they weren't there. "Holograms," Stone explained to her crew. While they're shooting at shadows, she pressed a button on her command chair. Now, the real Earth fleet dropped their stealth fields, appearing all around Vex's forces. The Nova Squadron ships darted between the larger Council vessels, their advanced electronic warfare systems shutting down weapons and shields. "First wave of Council ships disabled," Mills reported. "Their old software can't handle our viruses. Engineering teams report their whole network is falling apart." Stone opened a channel to all ships. "Remember, disable, don't destroy. Show them how real warriors fight." The battle, if it could be called that, was unlike anything the galaxy had seen. Earth's ships moved like dancers, their formations unpredictable, their attacks precise. Council ships, stuck in their 1,000-year-old tactics, couldn't adapt fast enough. "Admiral Vex's flagship is isolated," Wilson called out. "Nova Squadron reports all surrounding ships are disabled." Stone stood up. "Send him one last message. Surrender now and keep your crew alive." On the main screen, they could see Vex's flagship trying to fight off 3 Nova Squadron ships. The smaller vessels darted around it like wolves around a bear, shutting down one system after another. "Incoming transmission from Vex's ship," Wilson announced. "Their weapons are failing," Mills added. "Shields at 12%. Stone watched as Vex's image appeared again on the screen. The alien admiral looked shaken, his earlier arrogance gone. "How?" he demanded. "How did you defeat our greatest fleet?" "Because we never stop learning," Stone replied. "Every battle, every encounter, we adapt. You've used the same tactics for 1,000 years. We created new ones for this single fight." The last of Vex's support ships went dark, their systems completely shut down by Earth's electronic warfare. The mighty fleet that had started the battle was now floating helplessly in space. "Signal from Earth Command," Wilson reported. "The Reformed Council is asking us to accept Vex's surrender and bring him in for trial." Stone nodded. "Send in the boarding teams and get our medical ships ready. I want every wounded Council crew member treated." As rescue operations began, Stone looked at the tactical display one last time. 500 Council ships, defeated without a single death on either side. Earth's message was clear. They could win any fight, but they chose to win with mercy. "Send word to Ambassador Roberts," she ordered. "Tell him the last obstacle to peace has been removed. The galaxy is ready for a new era." 1 month after the defeat of Grand Admiral Vex's fleet, the Great Council chamber looked very different. Gone were the towering thrones of the first speakers. Instead, a circular table dominated the room, with all seats at equal height. Commander James Walker, who had witnessed the first attack on the lunar colonies, stood beside Admiral Stone and Ambassador Roberts as they entered the chamber. Earth had earned more than just a seat at the table. They had changed the way the table itself worked. "Welcome to the first session of the Reformed Galactic Assembly," announced Representative Tal, now serving as the elected coordinator. "Today, we begin a new chapter in galactic history." The chamber was packed. Representatives from over 200 species filled the seats, many from younger civilizations that had never been allowed to speak before. Screens around the walls showed the session being broadcast to trillions of beings across the galaxy. "Our first order of business," Tal continued, "is to ratify the Earth Accords." Ambassador Roberts stepped forward. In the months since the final battle, he had worked with representatives from all Council species to draft a new set of laws. The documents appeared on everyone's displays. "The Earth Accords are simple," Roberts explained. "No more automatic containment of developing species. No more technological suppression. Every civilization has the right to grow at its own pace, with guidance and support if they wish it." Dr. Reed, sitting with the Earth delegation, activated a holographic display showing the new Galactic Defense Network. "We're also implementing a completely new security system, one that protects everyone, not just the powerful." The new network combined the best of Earth's innovations with technology from all member species. Gone were the vulnerable ancient systems the old Council had relied on. Admiral Stone addressed the Assembly next. "The Earth fleet will help train a new combined defense force. Every member world can contribute ships and crews. We'll face any future threats together." Commander Walker watched as representatives from former enemy species nodded in agreement. He thought about the lunar colonies, now being rebuilt with help from dozens of alien worlds. The tragedy that had started this change would not be forgotten, but something good had come from it. "There's one more thing," Roberts said. "Earth has a proposal for dealing with newly discovered civilizations." He gestured, and the displays showed images of various developing worlds. "Instead of judging them as threats, we suggest a mentorship program. Any species that reaches for the stars deserves guidance, not fear." The assembly erupted in supportive calls. Many remembered their own species' early days of space travel, how frightening and lonely it had been. The old Council feared change. Representative Cole of the Meridian System stated, "They saw every new species as a threat. Earth showed us a better way. Strength through unity, progress through cooperation." As the Assembly prepared to vote on the Accords, Admiral Stone turned to Walker. "Hard to believe it's only been a month since you watched our colonies burn." Walker nodded. "Harder to believe how much has changed. We came looking for revenge, but found something better. Justice," Roberts added, "and a chance to make sure it never happens again." The vote was unanimous. The Earth Accords became galactic law, endorsed by every species present. As celebrations broke out across the chamber, Stone's communication device beeped. "News from the Jupiter shipyards," she reported. "The first joint species vessel is ready for launch. Crew members from 12 different worlds, working together." Walker smiled. "What are they calling it?" "Hope's Dawn," Stone replied. "Seems appropriate." As the session ended, Roberts addressed the Assembly one final time. "Today marks a new beginning. Earth didn't just fight back against oppression. We helped create a better galaxy for everyone. Remember this day not as the end of the old Council, but as the beginning of true galactic cooperation." The chamber filled with applause. Outside, in the space around the council station, ships from 100 worlds flew in formation. At their center, gleaming in the starlight, Hope's Dawn prepared for her maiden voyage. Humanity had done more than survive an alien attack. They had turned an act of aggression into an opportunity for change, proving that true strength lies not in domination, but in the ability to forge a better future from the ashes of conflict. The stars waited, and for the first time, the galaxy was truly united in exploring them.